We're in the beer garden
Yeah.
at the back of the Salmon Inn, and I'm sitting here with Charlotte Redpath, who I've already had some contact with over the internet, and somebody who's just given me her card, whose name I'd forgotten, is Sharon Jackson, the Young Persons Coordinator for Fixers.org. Now, I hope to be able to find out a little bit more about Fixers to add to what I already know. What I saw first of all was a couple of weeks back in the Southern Reporter, there was an article about you, and it seemed to suggest that you'd felt that there was a problem associated with being a young teenager living in a very rural part of the world, namely Newcastle. Can you tell me a bit about the background to Fixers and how you got involved in it, please, Charlotte?
I first got in contact with Sharon through Penumbra Youth Project in Galashiels.
Yep.
They were my counsellor for about 8 months, and she approached me and had said, look, there's this Fixers project, you know, if you can think of anything you might want to fix, get in contact. So I did, and that was probably about 6 months ago now, so it's quite a while ago. And to begin with, I wasn't too sure about what I thought the problem was, but the more I thought about it, the more I realised that rural isolation, for me, was a problem. Still kind of is a problem.
Yep.
Because I live 12 miles from Gala, so I have to get a bus everywhere. And then I realised that it'd be a problem for other young people
Of course,
as well.
yeah. And public transport in the borders is not particularly frequent, is it?
No, it's every half hour from where I live.
Of course,
so.
you're lucky. In Greenlaw, it's to get to Kelso, we can go on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday.
Oh, well at least mine's is every day, but...
Yeah. We've got a daily service, the Berwick to Galashiels run, but even that's less than once an hour. Luckily, I've got my own private transport, so that to me is essential for sort of life out here. But obviously, before you have a driving licence or so, and that's not an option anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Even now it's a struggle because I have to get a bus to my driving instructor to get a driving lesson. So, and my dad works up the way, so it's not like he can give me a lift to Gala every day because he's busy doing other things.
Are you aware from your friends or others who feel similarly isolated?
My best friend moved to Gala about 4 years ago, so she's different now. Her situation's completely different, but even she says when she was there, it was difficult. There is a lot of people that feel isolated.
I think what you were feeling was you weren't unique in that. But at the time, you probably felt you were maybe the only one that was suffering the hardship of being isolated.
Especially when it's such a small village as well. There's only about 3 other people my age. Yeah. And some of them don't come out. They've got their own circle of friends. So I really did feel like I was on my own. It's just me and my dad there.
Right.
There's not a shop. There's a village hall and it puts something on once a month maybe. But even then, it's not age appropriate.
So what I read in the Southern mentioned your plan to start up a magazine.
Yeah.
How did that idea come to you, and how do you see it developing?
I'm not quite sure how the idea came, actually. I think it was just sort of brainstorming and how could I advertise rural isolation and how could I try and fix it. And I think magazine just sort of seemed the best idea. I've been to quite a few meetings with different people to discuss layouts and what I want to put in it, the issues that I want to cover, how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to fix it. And I've got a productive meeting on the 1st of July. When we're there, it's with the creative team, so they'll then see how long my magazine's got to be, how I can fit each item in, how am I going to approach these people to ask for things, colours, all that type of thing.
To some people, the word magazine might conjure up a few sheets of paper.
Yeah.
But in my experience, magazines can be online magazines, they can be audio magazines, as in podcasts and so on. Are you initially thinking about a print medium, or are you looking at a variety of different media to put your message out?
To start with, we're hoping a magazine between, I think it was 6 and 8 pages, just covering the different things. But then we were going to develop it to hashtagging on Facebook and Twitter, so that different organisations can then hashtag the name of the magazine most likely, so that these young people can then go on and search the hashtag and see all the different events that are maybe on from these different pages on Facebook or or Twitter.
I know the beauty of the print medium, because that was one of my subjects when I was a teacher, graphic communication. So, I can understand the joy of wanting to produce something in paper, but it can be very expensive, and you don't necessarily know how many people are reading it. Whereas the electronic stuff is relatively cheaper to produce and easier to get out to bigger audiences.
I think the idea for Charlotte at the moment is this is the beginning of her project.
Yeah, of course,
it's looking for a way to start it off, and then there's tons of scope for developing it further on, because ideally the idea is kind of to generate some interest in it, really, because from the research that Charlotte's done herself, she's finding that it isn't necessarily always that there's nothing to do in the area, it's that there are things to do but they're not publicised very well, so young people don't really know about them. It disheartens them when they feel like they can't get anywhere because of the public transport, so they maybe stop looking into how they could get to places and get to different things, and they end up contained in their own little bubble. So I think the idea is to generate some interest and get local organisations on board, so that we do then start to do something online that everybody, something interactive that is user friendly for everybody, the organisations and the young people. So the start of that might be like just starting off with hashtagging, because that doesn't then leave a website or a page that somebody's got to constantly keep update, because that would be the problem, really.
One of the problems of websites is once you start them, you've got to maintain them, otherwise they quickly become redundant. I know about publicising things. I've been involved in various things in the past, and I know that just simply putting posters up all over the place doesn't really work, because people don't see the posters till usually after the event. And when have you got a target date for publication? Oh, you mentioned something about 1st of July.
Yeah, 1st of July is when we're going to...
My memory's fading.
Do our production day. Probably get in contact after that to see how it's went. I'm kind of hoping to have a lot of things finalised by then, in concept of like what it's going to look like, the colours, the pages, the size, the text.
Right, so the 1st of July isn't when you see it going to the public?
No, this is just...
That's being ready to go publication.
From then we'll have sort of like an action plan, like we'll know then sort of what our deadline is for getting everything submitted, like when it's going to go to print and when we can expect to get it back from the printers and that sort of thing, and we should come away from the end of that day knowing what we want it to look like what sort of feel you want it to have, what sort of pictures
how
and
we're going to
fonts
get people to... I like to put different issues in it, so and I'm going to put some personal experiences in it, and I'm hoping to ask a couple of other people to put some experiences in, even if they don't want to put their name in, just so that young people can feel like they're not the only ones that experience some of these things.
So would I be correct in assuming you're maybe thinking about issues like bullying and...
That'll probably cover it. I think I'm putting them under the umbrellas of mental health, physical health, sexual health, and was there another one?
Do you want to
emotional health?
I think that, for the mental health, I'm going to put my own one in, because I went to Penumbra for 8 months and it really did help. So I'd like to promote that, and then also the sexual health one as well. I've got somebody for physical, well, I haven't asked them yet, but really to promote different types of sports. It's downhill biking, which is just something completely different that people don't necessarily think about. He's a friend of the family, so hopefully he'll be willing to maybe put a wee bit in a piece about that, and
these are certainly some of the issues that I've featured in the past on my show. I know from my own experience, both personally and as a guidance teacher, that mental health issues, the starting point tends to often be you feel that you're the only person in the world that's affected in this way. And one of the first steps is being able to realise that you're not alone, that there are other people out there, and social media makes it easier to become in contact with people who are maybe further away than you might see.
I think that's a big thing that's come out from the research that you've done, isn't it? Like in doing your project, the research that you did with Penumbra is what a big link there is to rural isolation and how that can affect mental health, and especially in young people, and like how important social interaction is, and to not have that especially in your teenage years, like what a lasting effect that can have on you. So all the more importance for doing something like this to make young people feel less isolated, more linked in with other young people in their area and that sort of thing.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that Penumbra has been of use. A few years ago, when I turned 50, I decided to treat myself to run a marathon. It was Penumbra that I raised the money for.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I've still got my Penumbra T-shirt at home that did the 26.1 miles with me.
No, I do really recommend them to anybody. I've recommended them to a few friends. You know, you don't have to be in a right breakdown like I was to have to go. I mean, it could just be little issues that you think you just need somebody outside the box to talk to, and that's what I needed, was just somebody who had no relation at all to the problems I was having, and I've really just totally changed from it. I just really praise them for it.
And there are so many little organisations like that don't have a high profile, that people just don't know about them.
Unless you go, unless you're looking for that service.
I didn't know they were there, because I probably would have referred myself, because I'm quite good at that sort of self-reflecting stuff. But it took 6 months at my doctor's before they decided that they couldn't do anything for me. They had to send me to somebody a bit more like sort of specialised, and it was Penumbra, and I had not even realised that they were there until my doctor said, look, this is a really good organisation, and I'm pleased that they've done that, because now I try and promote them as much as I can, because they really are helpful to young people.
So it's good to get organisations like that known, really, especially amongst young people, so they know what's available to them really when they do need that help. Like you say, if you'd known about Penumbra yourself, you could have gone 6 months earlier.
Because there's face-to-face as well. There's a family member was referred to that through drinking, but he didn't want to go because of this bad look that it had on it, and it wasn't necessarily that it was bad, it was just everyone thinks that you get sent there if you've got alcohol problems, but it's not that at all. You can go there, it's more for the younger people, I think, younger than me, but he just had this, oh no, I'm not an alkie, I'm not going, and I was like, it's not that.
If there's not enough publicity, people don't know the detail, and they could pick up wrong perceptions like that. Fixers.org.uk, Sharon, have you in a couple of minutes, is there anything you'd like to tell me about them? Because I've never heard of them before.
No, I think again, people often haven't, if they haven't had any contact with us, but we're a national organisation now, funded by the Big Lottery. So we're right throughout Scotland, down to the south of England, and we also cover Wales and Northern Ireland now. So all we're here to do basically is to help 16 to 25-year-olds fix an issue that they feel passionately about. That can be anything, basically. They tell us what the issue is.
If they perceive it as a problem, then you're willing to support it. That's excellent.
And then we look at just how we can help them to fix it, and we've sort of got project funding to be able to spend on doing that.
Good, I love that philosophy, and good luck to the future of that and your magazine. Have you got a name for your magazine yet?
Not yet. That's still in the process.
I think my initial perception from the newspaper article was you were going to call the magazine The Fixer, but I think that was maybe just the way it had been written up and the way I read it quickly.
I'm still thinking. I've got about a week and a half still to get all
to go up with a name.
I know, just on a side note, have you any experience of graphic design?
Not really. I got an A in art at school, and I love art and creative stuff, so I'm hoping to have quite a bit of involvement in that side of things. But
the ins and outs of desktop publishing and layouts and so on.
No, but I'll learn.
Good. That's the excellent attitude. Good luck to you. Well, thank you very much for your time, ladies.
Thank you.
Well, I'd just like to say thank you very much to the Salmon Inn for their hospitality and letting us get the use of this lovely little beer garden here.